Hi guys. Okay, there we go. Hi, hello. Hopefully the internet is not too slow. Aloha Friday. It been a crazy day. It been a crazy week. Got a little sage going. It's been that kind of day. But I hope you guys are doing amazing. So clearly you can see I bought a room divider and it clearly is not a great room divider. I've got so much mess behind me of like moving mess. So don't mind me. I decided to hop on tonight. Yeah, it must be really slow because it says there's only 2 people in here and I know there's way more than that. Um, there we go. There we go. It's starting to catch up. Am I lagging for you guys or can you guys like see me? Help, I'm dying. What are all the seven of swords? Sam, I know. I can't even begin to tell. I actually shouldn't tell you guys what's been going on with me personally, but let's just say dealing with demons left and right. We'll just put it that way. Like crazy, crazy shit. Crazy, crazy shit. Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been so weird. Weird week indeed. Um, hello. Hey guys. Emily Ray, good call. Yeah, it's been crazy. Slight lag, but no problem. Okay. I mean, I'm supposed to have really good internet right now, but like I know it's probably a peak time that everyone's using it. Um, Crazy Week roller coaster birthday from yesterday. Oh, happy birthday! Sorry, it was weird. This is a weird time to have a birthday, I think. Um, this week has been super chill. Oh, I'm glad for you. I'm glad your week has been chill. There's people deserve a chill week, even if it's not chill for everybody else. I'm happy my passport came before my trip. Oh, good. Awesome. Oh yeah, that's gotta be stressful if like you need your passport for a trip and like you're waiting on it. I'm glad it came. Glad it came. Your week's been chill too? Okay, good. So everybody's had a chill week. Very happy for you. Give some of those good vibes to people who've had an insane week. I like this week has been super spiritual. Like I honestly want to go into detail on everything, but I know I shouldn't. Um, let's just say spirits have me working a lot this week. I've had a lot of special assignments this week. Um, it's been so crazy. And so the reason I'm going live is because literally it has been that insane, and I just wanted to like connect with you guys for a hot minute. Oh, Clyde. I thought he was gonna knock this over. Okay. Uh, yeah, send those good vibes to people who need it this week. I wanted to go live because it's like it's been weird, but also just to kind of talk for a bit. Like I was gonna do the weekly, and I kept trying to work, but I kept having these activations, and I kept having these like important conversations that needed to take place, and so it was like, okay, they clearly need to happen, so let me like stop and like have these conversations, right? And then the work will just have to come later. So I'm probably not going to get to the weekly tonight. So probably tomorrow, for my patrons and who are expecting it. But yeah, I mean the next week we have the full moon Sag and Jupiter's going to go conjunct the North Node. I'm doing that a lot. But yeah, that's gonna like you thought this week was picking up steam. Like I don't know if you guys were feeling that, but like for me this week has been picking up momentum. Like I could feel things moving so fast. And today, Keisha, thank you for the $5. Lovely to see you always. Oh, thank you. Hawaii misses you. I miss Hawaii. I was looking into like planning certain things in the coming months, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll go to Hawaii in October. And I started to really think about it, and I got kind of sad. I was like, Hawaii, I miss the ocean. What was I saying? Oh yeah, but this week. So the energy of this week, like every day it's been like exponential like movement. Like I could feel it. I'm seeing it happen in real time. God, I feel like I'm lagging so much on my end. And it's just I feel it. And then today that song, The Weekend, actually a couple songs were coming up today. Feel It Coming. That song came up for me today, and I was like, that's exactly how I feel. Like shit is moving fast. That one, and then another one that kind of made me happy and was kind of surprised. I actually had to like look up the lyrics Because I didn't remember the artist's name, but I know the song. It's like, I think it came out in the late 80s. Um, um, Vegabus, We're Here to Party. We're Here to Party. That was coming up, and I was like, oh, shit's gonna get good. Like, shit's about to get good. And that's what I'm feeling. I'm totally feeling that. Like, and it's crazy too. So, okay, you know what? Okay, I know why I went live. I get why I got pushed to go live now. All this other stuff that's kind of going on to talk about. So, if you've been having crazy people show up in your reality randomly, or you're having these like, or you're having encounters where people are like falling away, right? Whether it's relationships or certain environments, jobs, what have you, there is some crazy timeline stuff going on right now. And there is this divide that's happening. So some of you might even be getting pulled back to 2020 and pandemic shit. Um, so something that was coming up, like that rift, that divide that happened in 2020, there's this weird ripple effect through time that's happening right now, because there is a divide happening right now as well. And this divide, it's like people who are really embracing the future and like ready for the new and ready for things to really fully be different, and just be like, look, shit's been falling apart, it's needed to fall apart, we're freaking ready, and we've been prepared, we've been getting prepared. And for the some of you guys might even have noticed, like, your bodies are different. Like, you can't eat the same things, you can't be around the same people, you can't have the same conversations, you can't listen to the same music. Like, things like that, like, are really drastically changing for some people. And so there is this bigger divide happening of people who are like, we're embracing it and we're excited and we're ready, and then those that unfortunately are not, right? Or those that are like so stuck or compromised. And like, that was something I rubbed up against today. Where it was like, it was guys, it was so bizarre. Like, okay, I said I wasn't gonna talk about it, but I'm clearly talking about it. It was so bizarre talking to this person. It was like, they're stuck in 2020. Like, I could see it. It was like, they're not even in 2023. Like, it was the most bizarre thing to have this conversation, because like, one, it was very chaotic, there was a lot of energy stuff going on, it was a little bit like spiritual warfare going on. um but literally everything this person was focused on and upset about, and even reiterating, like talking about COVID and talking about the pandemic, and I was like, I was so confused at first. I was like, what? I was like, because it's so far from my reality, right? It's like I'm living in a reality where I'm really looking forward, right? It's like I'm really looking to, like, what's next? What are we building? What are we getting on board with, right? Like, what's going to be different? And to hear even those words, COVID and pandemic, I was like, eh? Like I almost couldn't even compute, right? It was like error, glitch error, like what? Like, I can't even perceive you and what you're saying right now. Um, and then the things this person started to talk about. So here's where it gets interesting. So even in 2020, right? I think the baseline of where everybody was is just where we were. I mean, that's just kind of stands to be the truth, right? No matter what. But like, wherever we were in 2020 individually, it's like we were in a specific reality that was aligned to where we were at, as far as our beliefs, our fears, all these things. And then shit took place and shit happens. Whatever 2020 reality I was in was not even where this person is still stuck in. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, okay, we're 2023. I mean, and honestly, I feel like I'm also kind of in like 2025, 2027 a little bit. But like, we're here in 2023, right? Even if I regressed back to that 2020 version reality, it would still not even be close to the disastrous reality this person was experiencing. Right? And that's why I was like, even the things this person was saying, I was like, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. And I was like, what is this? This is so weird. Um, but yeah, it's like our realities kind of like bumping up against like other people's realities that are not going with us, like while things are getting worked out and balanced out. I mean, you guys know how time works. It's like, it's not linear, right? It's all happening all at once. And so when we go through these divides of realities, like collective realities, things have to almost kind of like warp to get reassembled, like to get reconfigured. Understand what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's like I'm still speechless. I'm still speechless. Um, Not everyone is coming with us. Preach. Yeah, I know, right? Uh, so I can't read that username. Hold on. Tameshala? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, even on my end when I started the chat, I felt like I was like kind of like lagging a little bit. It could also be the energy because like I said, I've been super activated today and there's been like so many downloads like and things clicking into place. Like today's been a fast day. Energetically, there's been a lot of shit going on, at least for me. Um I did a road opener candle and boy did it reveal a lot. Excuse me. Excuse me. A lot of that too, because there's been so much energy. You had a huge activation. Okay, yeah, yeah. Yvonne Peters, thanks for the $5. You're probably tuning into my weird news lately. I can't help it. I hope you try salt therapy for your asthma. A salt room is ideal. Yeah, I have a salt lamp. And there is a salt room out here that I've gone to before, but it's getting better because I've been, taking care of it. It just takes a while. It's like when asthma gets like triggered, it takes a while for all that inflammation to kind of calm down, even with medication. So it's like if you just continue like treating it, and of course there's other treatments too, it gets better, and it's a lot better. I think someone's just had a really intense call from spirit. Yeah, yeah. And it's funny too, right? Because I was talking about 525. Kat! Hey, Kat. I love a random live. Perfect timing for a long night of working. I love hearing your voice. Oh, I love you. I love you. Sorry, that totally sidetracked me for a second. Yeah, it feels like one of those days. It's definitely one of those days. And I've had so many conversations today too. That's like been the other thing I've noticed. It's like I've had to do a lot of energy exchange from extremes of dealing with crazy demonic realities from 2020 versions of 2020 and like my soul family, right? And like everywhere in between. So it's like there's a lot getting worked out right now. The 25th energy is just hitting today. So it's okay, that's what I was gonna say. Thank you for keeping me on track. Can you tell even how fast I'm talking? Like how much energy there is, right? Yeah, 525. 525 was also very weird. It was weird. And waking up today, I felt like a million times, I don't know, brighter, stronger. Like today I woke up feeling like the sun guard. Like that's how I woke up feeling today. But yeah, definitely 525. I think there was some stuff going down. And I think some of us experienced it earlier than others. Like that wave of weirdness. I don't know. I feel like it's also just been a week of that shit back to back to back to back to back. You're surging for real. I am. And it's funny too being back in Sedona. And like now that I'm like not like now that the move is done and it's really just establishing my place, right? I'm getting reacquainted with the energies here. And it's kind of cool. It's like it's made me really happy because it's like they're familiar energies that I've worked with before, and so it's just like it's just all coming back up to be worked with again. And I really want to say there is something about 2020 that is being heavily transmuted right now. Like, and we might see like some of that in our different realities, because that's the thing. We're all going to align to whatever reality we're going to align to, right? And that's based off of personal choices. It's all based on free will. Like, we co-create our reality. We choose what we're going to experience, right? So I think some people may feel like they're reliving 2020. There's something about 2020 that feels like a trap, you know? Like where there are people that are literally stuck there or may even regress to like a ripple effect of 2020, like reliving something similar to a pandemic, right? I love the backdrop. Thank you. I'm a little saddened by it because it was not what it didn't okay, words. Sorry. I'm gonna hold my slow down. I'm a little bummed about it because it's not how it looked in the picture. So a little bummed, but that's okay. Thank you for saying that. A tarot reader channeled something for me super accurately, but it was from 2 years ago. Yeah, there's stuff being rectified from 2020. And at the same time, it's like because it's being rectified, it's like and I think I already said this, but like, yeah, it's like bumping up against our timeline. It's weird. And I feel like as it's doing that, it's like, and people are making their choices, I do feel like some people are regressing back to whatever that is and may repeat it, or may even repeat a reality that is similar to it. Like, their version of another pandemic or whatever, or something just as restricting, right? And I think others of us are like, we're happy. like we're happy, and we're like just ready for whatever the new thing is, and like we're gonna be okay and things are gonna be great, like we know it, so it's weird. It's just weird to see that, you know woke up tired. Oh, I sorry, that like already like went away super fast. Either repeat or move on. Yes. Yes. Like, how many times are we gonna like get stuck in the same shit over and over and over and over again, right? It's like, even coming down to the like most minor, not, well, I guess habits aren't minor, well, in comparison, right? Like addictions, right? Or coping mechanisms, like even shit like that. It's like, how many times are you gonna let yourself relive that stuff until you finally have freaking learned to move past it or whatever? You understand what I'm saying? Or it's a little hard right now. You guys understand what I'm saying? Um, Definitely being faced with the same decision as I was faced with in 2020, but knowing that it has to be a different decision. No regressing. No regressing. No regressing. And I think there are many reasons why Spirit ended like having me move back to Sedona, but I'm realizing like, oh, this is like one of them. There's like, because like literally when the pandemic happened, it literally like the day that like things were getting locked down is the day I moved. Like that's the day I left and ended up here. Um so yeah, it's interesting, right? Been hearing a lot of end of the world fear in the past 2 days. Me too. And I'm literally like hearing people and I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, huh? That's not happening. Like, it's so trippy. It's so weird to hear people say shit where I'm like, that is not happening in my reality, but that's so weird it's happening in yours, and here we are sharing physical space. Like, it's just weird. Um Unfortunately, endings have been coming to some of my relationships because people can't move forward. Yeah, no, it's unfortunate. Like this week alone, I've had a lot of that happen. Like a lot. And like, I mean, I've just been, moving through it because it's like you can do, right? It's happening, so you got to like move through it. Um but yeah, it's been kind of crazy like how many of those where it's just like um and when I started doing the notes for the weekly, because like I said, conversations came up and they had to happen, right? Um you're like, yeah, yeah. No, really, like seriously, some of the shit I hear people talk about, I'm just like, huh. Like, am I just like dream walking through other realities right now? But it just is like feels like it's the physical reality. It's weird. But even tuning into like the weekly energy that I was gonna do tonight, but like I said, things came up that had to happen. So I'll be doing it tomorrow. But guys, next week, like we thought the energy of this week was crazy. The energy of next week is gonna be a catapult. It's gonna be a catapult. There's no question. Like that's the word that came to me when I looked at it and was like tuning into it. It's like yeah, like skyrocket, like catapulted into the next thing, into the next chapter, into fated events, fated moments, fated meetings, like catapulted. Catapulted. Jupiter conjunct the North Node on June 1st, and then just 2 days later, a full moon in Sag. That's like super, if I look at it again, yeah, heavily influenced by Pallas Athena and Lilith. It's going to be a very, very fiery full moon. Very fiery full moon. And Pluto's really heavy at play. Chiron's heavy at play. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Where's Uranus? Oh. Mm. But yeah, Venus, Lilith, Pallas Athena, Chiron. Very, very fiery. um, I just got pulled to Uranus, and I'm like, I'm trying to find it in all my notes. I got pulled to Uranus, and I got pulled to Uranus for a reason. Uranus, I know, was like 20 degrees at that time. And it'll be working with Mercury. That sounds like downloads to me. Uranus working with Mercury, all that mercurial, cerebral, galactic Uranus higher consciousness energy. That sounds like downloads and activations. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Anyway, sorry. I coming back. Got sucked into that. I want fated meeting with romance. I think there's been a lot of that going on too, and I think especially like coming into that week, it's like such a Jupiter oriented week. Jupiter North Node, full moon Sag, which Jupiter rules Sagittarius. Excuse me. Um, I feel like there's been a lot of fated meetings in relationships because there's been so much reconfiguring, you know? And then Venus is at play. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that's going to continue. Venus was sextile Uranus today. Oh, and I was like, don't think I felt that one. Thank you for mentioning that because it's like, yeah, I mean, you guys know I love astrology, but it is hard to like always be on top of every single aspect for every single day, right? And I'm sure like the last week version of me was like super in tune with that. But it's interesting that you say that. And I think I did mention in the last weekly that like all this crazy shakeups around relationships. I do think I mentioned that. I think I did. That feels familiar. That feels really no, thank you. Yes, yeah, it's all coming back to me. The Leo fighting the Taurus, and then dealing with like group dynamics and relationships, like stepping into that more evolved Leo energy and how you handle that in terms of relationships. So yeah, I did talk about shakeups with relationships. um yeah, and Venus sextile Uranus, that's a lot of unpredictability with not just within current relationships but meeting people. Like that is totally like a fated meeting kind of energy. Especially in particular with like people who are not like you, like from different cultures and things like that. Different backgrounds, but crazy times. Crazy times. Headache for last 3 days. Oh, I feel that. I probably need to cover my head. I probably need to cover my head tonight. I've had a lot of crown activity. That Mars Pluto opposition about a week ago was wild. It all feels wild, doesn't it? Yeah, Pluto's also been like fairly active. Pluto has not been taking any sidelines for the last couple of weeks. Mm. Hey from New Zealand. Hi Nathan. Hello. I watched 3,000 hours of Longing movie. I cried the entire movie. So much love. Oh, I haven't heard of that one. I haven't heard of that one. I'm gonna scroll up a bit, see if I missed any. Feel so teary all week. Something deeply painful just wouldn't shift or let up. That was happening too, and I kind of talked about that. I remember with the 24th and 25th, as it relates to like when the moon was moving through Leo. When the moon moved through Leo, 24th, 25th, and 26th, it activated and supported Mars and Chiron and Lilith while it squared Taurus. And so it was triggering for some people, and like some stuff was really shaken up. And I know a couple people, myself included, where I've had like a couple emotional moments. Like today, I've been super emotional personally. Bad headaches. I contributed to heavy smoke in the air here in Nebraska. Gloria, I needed a good movie recommendation. I'm gonna check it out. Yeah. So this is also why I like the chats. We like, give each other good recs. Oh, thank you for the $9.99. I'm so glad I caught your live so I can show you my appreciation for you and your hard work. Thank you. That's very sweet. Thank you. I've been pulled to Cancer Leo season. What's going on? Oh, you guys are getting me talking. So first of all, right now we have like we got a little bit of Leo Cancer energy right now. Venus is like in its final movements in Cancer. Pallas Athena has been in Leo and has been very active, and the moon was just in Cancer in Leo, activating all that stuff too. Now, June and July, July in particular. July is going to be a little cray-cray. Not going to lie to you. We got the nodes switching to Aries and Libra. And there's also going to be this period of time where, if my memory serves me correctly, because I looked at it really briefly and I was like, oh my God. It was Pluto squaring off. I want to say it was... Wait a minute. No, it has to be the North Node. Where Pluto squares the North Node. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Hold on. Oh, Clyde's on my computer. I want to double check. Excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you. I'm pretty sure it's the North Node, but I'm going to double check right now. Where Pluto squares off with it 3 times. Like exactly squares off with it within a matter of like a week. And then it's like right before a moon cycle, if I'm not mistaken. And I remember looking at it and I was like, wait, 1? Wait, 2? Wait, 3? I was like, wait a second. It seems insane. Let me double check. Oh, you guys are saying hi to Clyde. He's like, oh, he has sleepy eyes right now. He ate a little bit ago, so he's like almost out of it. So let me double check this about July. Full moon Cap, Mars Virgo, North Node enters Aries. It is the North Node. Okay, guys, so check this. Check this. So the 17th is when the nodes switch to Aries and Libra. The 17th of July. And then come July 22nd, Venus goes retrograde in Leo. And we enter Leo season. The next day, Pluto in Capricorn squares the North Node in Aries. The same day, Chiron goes retrograde. 2 days later, they square off again. 3 days later, they square off again. Yeah. And then a couple days after that, we have the full moon in Aquarius. Yeah, that whole chunk of time, that like... I mean, is it even the last half or just like the last week? Wait a second. It's the 22nd to the end of July, beginning of August. It's like 10 days. What the fuck? Yeah, that was my reaction. What the fuck? Because I saw it once and I was like, oh, dang, that's going to be intense. And then I kept scrolling and I was like, wait a minute. It was like, holy crap. Can't even make this shit up, right? So it's like 10 days of 3 times where Pluto squares off with the North Node, a Chiron retrograde, and a Venus retrograde. Chiron retrograding in Aries, Venus retrograding in Leo. And then that Pluto squared in the North Node is Cap against Aries. And it's like, and I'm not trying to manifest anything, but like Cap to Aries with Pluto and North Node, it's like, that feels so karmic. That feels so insanely karmic. It feels like some window where collectively we're going to be introduced to a whole new set of lessons and needing to be adaptable, especially in terms of power and assertion. And I hate to say war, but that is what it feels like. That is totally what it feels like. I'm not going to try to manifest anything out of that, but it's definitely this assertion of this, like dealing with karma around asserting power. That's what it feels like to me. But it feels heavily karmic. And then Chiron retrograde and Venus retrograde right in the middle of all that. Lessons within relationships, lessons of internalizing and reflecting on your own wounding around asserting yourself. Like, yeah. So if you've been like getting pulled to like June, July, which I think someone literally said Cancer, Leo, that's literally when we're shifting into Leo season from Cancer, in Tropic anyway. Yeah, I don't mean to sound so dramatic. I'm just still like, have a lot of energy still moving through me. That's all. Oh, and we have a first quarter moon in the middle of that on the 25th in Scorpio. Just to make things a little extra karmic. Why not? Why not? Let's throw that in there. Why not? I think landing on full moon Aquarius after that, though, might be pretty nice. Because that's all innovation. Right? That's innovative, that's clarity, that's seeing the big picture of things, and also dealing with emotional maturity in the midst of that and balancing how you feel versus what you know. I think that actually be very nice. after coming out of that weird vortex. Um, yeah, and like, yeah, even just looking at it makes me feel a little overwhelmed and just feels so karmic. So karmic. Anyway, let's come down from that. I feel like I just got like overloaded. The reflection lessons, I can't anymore. It's okay, guys. It's okay. It's just ebb and flow of life. Like, we're always going to have that. Like, we're always going to have these waves of lessons and reflection and all of that. That's always going to be a thing. It just doesn't have to be a struggle. It doesn't have to be super hard. It's just about how we handle it. Now, yes, well, basically, the universe telling us to nut up or shut up. I think it's a good way of looking at it, too. I think that's a good way of looking at it, too. I felt icky with energies. Yesterday was rough. Yeah, yesterday was definitely a rough day. With all the Capricorn, could it be fall of big business? I think that's totally possible. I think there are a variety of things that could happen under that like crazy time, under those aspects. I think there's a lot of potential for different things to happen, and I definitely think that that's one of them. I'm gonna try to align to the highest timeline for myself. That's what I've been doing. I've just like, all I've been doing is trying so hard to like visualize like the most ideal situation, you know, where it's like there's flow and there's grace and moving forward into the future with gentility between everybody, and we're just gonna get shit done. Like, we're just gonna get shit done. We're just gonna make it happen, and it's fine. A whole line of plating ships just went over Kingman. Yeah, I think there's gonna be interesting stuff going on in Arizona. I mean, even weather-wise, right? I think this year, I mean, we've seen a lot of effects from climate change. You know, we're all like privy to that. Like, it's just been a thing. But I feel like there's something about this last year that I almost feel like we're seeing like a first permanence in a way of new weather patterns. Like, I don't know how else to explain that. Like, we've seen the fluctuations. We've seen, oh, crazier storms. Oh, it's hotter. Oh, it's raining more. Like, we've seen that. But I feel like there's something about this year where it feels like there really is, like, we're not going to experience what was. Like, I feel like Arizona is already cooler, like, temperature-wise, and probably will just continue to be that way. But in a way that's so drastic from what it was. Not like a freak wave of cold or a freak storm, or it's a little more monsoony. Like, that's what I'm saying, right? It's about aligning with the timelines. Like, things are actually different, and we see that now. Things are physically different. Like, what we've been waiting for to show up in the physical. I was talking to a friend today, and she said it perfectly. She's like, I feel like I've been in a hallway. And it's like, yeah, like waiting in a hallway to see what we know was already happening, right? Like behind the scenes. Like, we already knew the new reality was here. We already knew physical reality was going to be different, and we've just been waiting to like really see it, and we're really seeing it. It's exciting. I think it's exciting. St. Louis feels totally different. Yeah. I'm not there, but like, I believe you. That there's a freak storm outside right now. It's true, new and exciting. Yes, it's literally so hot in Mexico right now when looking at my trip expectations. Oh no. Yeah, like today was 75 degrees. We're almost in June in Arizona, and it was 75 degrees and breezy. Like, the air actually felt cold. I was like, oh, I can get used to this. This is kind of cool. And I was talking to, so many conversations that had to happen today. And I was talking to someone else today, and he was saying that he was reading on something where there's been a permanent shift in the Gulf Stream, so that like this weather is kind of what's just going to happen now. And it's like, wow. It's like, cool. Phoenix is hot right now. Oh, I'm sure Phoenix is hot. Yeah, Sedona's like perfect. It's gonna be 90 in Syracuse. Oh, I've said we've been in a green room. Yeah. And that's like also what I kept getting to for months, where it's like, it's here. Like, it is here. It's just, it takes so long for things to manifest physically, right? It's like, for all of the shifts to come down, like all the way down through all the echelons of dimensionality, to the physical, like it takes a while, and it also takes the like a good chunk of the collective to align to it to actually experience it like this, right? Sorry, I feel like I'm yelling. I think I just got really passionate. Sorry. Colorado too, lots of thunderstorms. I talked about a green room today, synchronicities, like being behind the curtain waiting for it to fall and reveal. Yes, that's it. That's another great way of explaining it. Yeah, I mean, again, there's so many different ways you can explain all this stuff, right? And we're all on the same page. We all know what's up. We all know what's been happening. So I'm just happy and excited. And no matter how many weird, crazy, demonic realities rub up against me, can't take that away. Can't take away my happiness. Can't take away my truth. Can't take away what I know. Can't take away what I'm aligned to. Can't take away the fact that I'm protected in that and I'm solidified in that. Like, I'm just happy. I'm just happy and excited. It doesn't smell like rain like it used to. Oh, you quit your job? Congratulations! Congratulations! We're all passionate and excited. I know you guys get it. I know you guys get it. I know I don't need to explain it to you. I feel like a lot of us will be pushed center stage. Oh yes, I feel that too. So funny. I was literally talking to my friend about that today too, where I was like, it's time. Like it's time to move into the role. It's time to get to the table. It's time to just it's time. I just can't shake the it's time. Yeah, totally understand what you're saying. Beautiful night in Toronto. I would like to go to Toronto at some point. I still like have wanted to go to Canada for so many years and just never really made it across the border. Yes, same Z's. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm just pumped. I'm just pumped. And it's like, okay, so talking about like these weird demonic realities like rubbing up against us, right? Even through like, okay, so like when we're dealing with people, right? It's like, you see the vessel, you feel the person, and then something ugly comes through them that's like not them. Even like through like the most hurt even though through like the most awful experiences like that, I still feel sad for them. Like, I do. I still feel really sad for them. Where it's just like, damn, like you're stuck. And that sucks. Like, and yeah, it just makes me sad to know that there are like a lot that are just stuck. And I know that it's a result of people making choices. Like, I get that. I get that it's like mostly a free will thing. But it doesn't make me feel any less sad, you know? I can see you and Matthew from Stillwater having a lovely chat in Canada about all the astrology. You oh. Oh. I've words. I've never seen his channel. Hold on, I'll look it up right now so I can take a look at it. I got Stillwater. Wait, what was it? Matthew Oliver. Okay, let's see. I assume it's a YouTube channel. I assume. Oh look, I'm live. I literally like popped up. It's so weird. It's so weird when that happens. A friend of mine told me I should like listen to one of my readings, and I was like, I can't watch myself. It's like, I can't do that. I can't do that. Let's see. I'll subscribe. I'll subscribe to him. Check him out. I know there's some of that recommendation that felt right, so I just went for it. I started the week with a breakup. Oh, was it a liberating breakup, or was it a this is emotional and this is hard kind of breakup? Because there, when it comes to breakups, there's a variety of how we feel about those kinds of breakups. Me too, but I know it's for my safety. Wait, what did I miss? Oh, the breakup conversation. Oh, so yeah, and that's the other thing. I've like so many people, right, this week have like been going through breakups too, which is crazy. Excuse me. Have How late am I? I haven't been able to join a live in a while. Hi, Rihanna. We've been on for like 40 minutes ish. And like, we're just talking. We're just talking about the craziness of the times and everything that's going on collectively. So you haven't, well, I mean, you know, you can always go back and watch. Um, excuse me. It's my time. Yeah, it's all of our times. We freaking earned it. That's the thing. It's like, for those of us who like dredged through the mud of density like, and did the hard work, especially for those of us that were like, we were probably in it alone for a while. Like, you know, I know a lot of you have been through Dark Night of the Soul, so you guys know what that feels like. It's like, that's some hard shit. That's some hard shit. But a lot of us did it. A lot of us did it. And like, this is the reward for doing that work. It's like, this is what happens when you do the work. I've been feeling way exhausted lately, mentally drained. Had a breakup Saturday. Oh, all the breakups. All the breakups. This energy feels tight. It does, right? And when I looked at Jupiter conjunct the North Node, that was the feeling that came over me too. Like, cross your T's, dot your I's, tighten your ship. Like, get everything in order, like ducks in a row. Not like in a way of like, oh, something's gonna happen. Like, energetically, right? Like, keep things super clean energetically. Which is also partly why things are falling away like super fast, right? But when you said it feels super tight, like, yeah, that's totally how it feels. Like, you gotta like maintain the ship and not let any water get in. Like, that's how it feels to me. Like, lock shit down, don't let a single drop of water in. Like, that's how it feels. Had a great week, then had an argument at work with someone who is definitely stuck. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. Have a wedding tomorrow. I'm in Tucson, going to Sedona in July. Do you want to meet up? I don't even know if I'm going to be here in July. That's the other thing. I'm like, I know I'm going to have a little bit of rest right now, but I think I'm going to be traveling a lot. Like, that's something that seems to be really clear. Like, I think I'm going to be on the move a lot for various things. I've been literally cleansing, decluttering, planning my next move. Good. Protect your energy at all costs. This Leo Mars has some people go, oh, I know. It's people. Some people have lost their minds. It's like, so I'm gonna try to speak quietly. But when I got here, you know, my allergies and asthma were really bad, as a lot of you guys know. My Leo sun versus my Taurus moon. Oh, Sam, if you want to talk sometime about it, we can totally talk about it. I keep feeling like I'm supposed to have a conversation with you, so I think it's time. Actually, yeah. Sorry, brain. I also coined a new term today for myself, which I think some of you guys will appreciate. I'm just making a note. So many things just went through me. Damn it. So many things just went through me that totally distracted me. Hold on. Help me. Where was I? Help me. Where was I? Oh, people have lost their minds. Oh, yeah, that's right. So when I first got back, you guys know my allergies and my asthma were really bad. Like, super bad. And so, I had to go out. I had to go outside into the deadly air. The air that is deadly for me. And I'm struggling. I'm in the car and I'm like trying to wait for my turn. And I'm coughing. I'm on my watery eyes. And I'm also still in like Aloha mode. I'm still in chill mode. Like, I'm going to make the turn when it's safe to make the turn. And I'm like making a turn on a hill. So some people are speeding up and some people are slowing down, but everyone's at a different pace. So I'm just like waiting. And then I can feel this like wave of anger. And I was like, that was weird. And then the guy behind me honked like really hard. And I was like, oh, I'm not used to people honking at me here. And I look in my rearview mirror and you'd think the guy was having a stroke. I was like, you could see he was like screaming. Like, you know, when people have that screaming face and the veins are popping out on their neck and their eyes are all squinty and like he's throwing his hands all over the place. And I'm just like, wow, dude. I was like, chill, maybe just chill. It's like, dig out the runs. What's going on? Like, it was crazy. Susie Nelson, thank you for the 1999. Thank you. Thank you. People have been nuts on the road lately. They really have. They really have. I've been very careful when I've been driving because yeah, I mean the level of road rage is scary. It's really scary. Um, oh, I might not be able to stay on much longer. So another thing I came to really accept and understand a little bit more about myself. Um, are you familiar with Dolores Cannon's work? I've been reading A Hypnotist Journal to Atlantis, Sphinx, and From the Trail of the Star People, very validating. You know, I've been meaning to put her on my list. There's so much literature. There's so much great literature out there. And there are certain times where I get drawn to something really like obscure or just really kind of like not very well known. And so every time that happens, I'll divulge into that. But yeah, she's been on my list for a while. And I hear great things. When people tell me about her, or at least some of the things that she's said, I've like really resonated with some of the things. What was I saying? Yeah, this might be a sign where I might need to get off. So some of you may know that I'm on the spectrum. Some of you guys who are new probably don't. So I'm on the spectrum. And this is something I keep wanting to do my next podcast episode. I just don't have my setup yet. I'm very close. And once I do, I'm going to be, you know, it's going to go off really fast. But I want to talk about this in some capacity at least. So at least I'm going to do it here. So I'm on the spectrum. And I've met a lot of people who are part of the community that also are. And like, and I've been seeing so much more of this awareness of what being on the spectrum is, and more people coming out and more people being diagnosed as being on the spectrum as well. And I mean, I've really just come to look at it as like, and I'm not saying this is fact, this is just how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it in two ways. Like I'm looking at it as a way of like how human evolution basically. Like this part of the human race that's diverging and evolving and just in a different way. But I also can see how the reason more people are coming out as being diagnosed as being on the spectrum is it's also just, I think, a way to categorize what it's like when you are sensitive and when you wake up, right? And all those things. But these labels, right? It's like, I think these labels can obviously like come with some distortion. So I just look at it as being on the spectrum. But I was like talking to a couple people about it today of what it's like to see and pick up on the things that I do and try to have a normal interaction with people at the same time. And it's insanely difficult. Like, I mean, even you guys know, like when I'm on here, it's like sometimes I gotta like take a minute, right? But when I'm like physically in someone's space and I'm connecting with them and I'm picking up on all this stuff and seeing all these things like that are in their field or past lives or just all these things, it's so much information. And then on top of it, they're like talking to me and I'm just like, it's so much to process, right? And so today I was talking to a friend and I was having those activations and downloads and I was talking to her and I was writing my notes and I wanted to say something to her and I just had this moment where it was just like too much information and I couldn't stop stuttering because I couldn't get it out because it was just so much was going through me. And I realized like, oh, don't mind me, it's just my spiritual autism. And I'm like, oh, I love that. I kind of love that term. And like it's just something that I resonate with personally, but like having a lot of moments like that socially where there's so much happening spiritually and then there's all this like normal physical sensory stuff that's difficult and then I'm trying to talk at the same time, I'm gonna glitch out sometimes or I'm gonna like have to be quiet and not respond because it's a lot. um, so yeah, having a lot of spiritual autistic moments today. um can't expect a fish to climb a tree. um, it's like when others speak of tuning their gift on and off. Yeah. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to tune it off, especially because there are certain things that activate you. Because sometimes you're supposed to be using your gift in that moment, right? right? And if you're supposed to be using it, you got to be using it, and it is what it is. Um, so yeah, so just mentioning that, I guess. Uh, but it's been interesting to see. Like, I feel like in the last 2 weeks, even people I know have become even more aware of just being on the spectrum as a thing, as being more prevalent. Oh yeah, the autistic mystic. I've definitely seen some of his stuff too. Um, but it's been interesting. It's been interesting. Definitely, it's been interesting to see more and more people coming out of the autistic closet, I guess, is a way of looking at it. I so relate. Yeah, it's like if somebody has like abilities like that, like, and to be put in normal like social situations, yeah, they're not gonna act like everybody else. They're not gonna act like everybody else. It's just not gonna be a thing, you know. Like literally, they would have to process information differently just off the start if they're picking up on psychic information, right?
Mm.
Oh, excuse me. Um, but yeah, so I don't know. There might be a lot of you out there that resonate with that. Got a jet. Please hit me up if you have the time and energy. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I don't remember if you gave me your contact or not, but just like, e- um, email me if you have not. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. But yeah, just email me at the road and email if you have it. I think we're in some way gifted when we're on the spectrum. Oh yeah, I think there's definitely like pros to it. And that's the thing, right? It's like if you want to look at it from like that perspective of evolution, I think that's a very valid way of looking at it. Like it's a good chunk of the collective that has been diagnosed recently or at least identifies, right? Even if they haven't gotten an official diagnosis, like identifies with that very strongly. And I think there's a reason for that. Just because we're calling it being on the spectrum, right, doesn't mean that that's exactly what it is, right? And at what point do we start looking at it less as a, and I know people use different terms for however they resonate with being on the spectrum, but it's like some people look at it as disability, some people look at it as disorder, condition, like all these, again, all these different labels is like doesn't really matter. Um, but at what point do we just start looking at it as it just is, like like it just is, it just is, it just is. Um, yeah, I think of it of evolution. Yeah, same, same. We've been so accustomed to multitasking. I feel like that's a big part of hopping off the spectrum or on the spectrum. It's magic. Hopping on. Oh, okay. Even the bipolar collective had a lot in my family and realized how they have major spiritual powers. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I met people that were diagnosed as bipolar, and it's like, dude, you're just magic. It's like, and again, who wouldn't exhibit those symptoms, right? And I'm not a psychologist, right? I'm not a mental health professional by any means, and I don't claim to be, and I don't claim to say that all of this are like finite truths. This is just my observation of reality, right? That's have to give, yeah, you gotta give that disclosure. But yeah, we're seeing these people, and it's like you're just picking up on everyone's shit. And if you're like trying to just find your own balance in life and you're picking up on everyone's anger and sadness and resentment and joy and ecstasy, all like, how are you gonna sort that out? Right? Um, yeah. How could you? Right? That's like that takes time. That takes practice. That takes mastery. And which first takes acceptance and awareness that that's even happening, right? Um, there is no perfect. All codes are for billing purposes only. That's a good point, right? That's actually a brilliant point. That's a really brilliant point. It wouldn't need to have codes for medical billing insurance purposes. Like, would any of this even stick around? Really? I mean, I'm sure it would to some extent because like these terms started at some point in time to like understand things, right? But it'd be nice to live in a reality where all that shit just like at least, well, at least to the extent that people don't get so heavily attached to it in a distorted way. That'd be nice to see. That'd be nice to see. Um, Bipolar is possibly divergence from autism, a hunch due to nurture versus nature. I don't think anything's possible. Like I said, not a mental health professional. Just giving my own viewpoint of things in my reality. I had to apologize to a coworker who asked why I don't respond to her when she is talking sometimes. I just said that I am slow to process. See, and that's the other thing. So, okay, I probably should go. I can feel it. And I keep saying that, but like, I can feel the energy coming down and grounding. So I can feel this coming to a natural close. But like, I think that's something that was coming up a lot actually for me, not just this week, but I want to say maybe even like the last month. Like, needing to really establish to people who need this establishment, because there are a lot of people who just accept people as people and just accept where they at or where they're at, right? um but I've had like this whole needing to set boundaries with certain people of like, look, I'm not always going to text back. That's just not who I am. um or I'm not going to show up in the way that you expect me to or want me to just because it's what you want. Like, there's some self-care shit that I really need to like honor all the time, and it might look different compared to someone who's not sensitive, right? It's like, yeah, it's going to be different. It's going to be different. Like, I need space, I need time. I can't have a lot of contact because I get overwhelmed with information, right? And it's like some people are understanding about that and some people aren't. And it's just like, people who are not understanding about that don't know what to tell you. This is who I am, and that's not changing. Like, it's not changing, right? Yeah, the whole like needing to respond. I don't know. I like that concept to me. I just really struggle with that concept. Cause like everybody's got shit, right? Like everybody's got their own life. Everybody's got stuff going on. And it's like, I don't know. People respond when they can, and it's like it's just responding. Like, especially via text. Like, I remember when texting wasn't a thing, right? And I think people were way less caught up on that kind of thing. But anyway, it's a concept I don't totally understand. Um I can totally relate to that. I like alone time. Yeah. What's up with the Little Mermaid vibes right now? I'm definitely here for it, but I'm sure it's all coming from somewhere. Oh gosh, so much to say there, but I really should get going. Um, so those of you who are new, those of you who are not will know what I'm talking about, but those of you guys who are new, I talked about this like emergence of primordial energy as it relates to Sedna and the feminine, and unlocking this like access to ancient primordial creative energies within, individually and also collectively, that have been kind of like tucked away and imprisoned away. And getting access to that back has been this next level liberation for everybody. And it does relate to that. Like, the whole Little Mermaid synchronicity ties into that, because it is like this deep primordial waters and bringing it to the light, right? Um, Bringing it to the surface to be experienced in the physical. And it relates to that. But I guess I just explained it, so that's it. From, again, just from my perspective, I think there are a lot of people who have a lot of different points of view on that, um, as well. I mean, even the throat chakra with the voice is definitely part of that synchronicity too, of being able to unshackle the self from that place of primordial imprisonment. It's literally reclaiming a part of very old creative originating energies. That's why we've had so much root chakra stuff going on. That's why people have been having so much weird stuff with their feet and their ankles, because it's literally we're being unchained. And there are certain ancestral lines, bloodlines, that are really touched heavily by that energy. Like, when I'm talking about different ancestral lines relating to slavery, genocide, like that sort of deal. So if you're tied to a bloodline where there's a lot of the ancestral trauma, a lot of that is being worked out through those energies. Yeah. My sprained ankle is flaring up years after the sprain. I'm having ankle heel foot issues. Yeah, because this is all about root work. It's been all about this like deep soul root work. And it is also part of stepping into this new reality, right? Because when we really unshackle ourselves and we take that step forward, right, and fully take the last foot out of that old reality, that old timeline, the old era, whatever word you want to use for it, we're free and we're there. That's a huge part of this. It's a huge part of this shift of into new earth, you could say. I mean, I feel like new earth is also a phrase that I haven't used that phrase in a while, but it's a phrase that some people are using. um I'm healing my sprained ankle. My lower spine over my bottom is killing me. Oh, I'm sorry, Anima. I've been unchained. Yeah, guys, we're free. We're free. Everyone's free. We're free. We're free. We're free. And I totally feel it. And I'm just like, I'm just happy. Just happy. But I am gonna go because I can feel it. Like energy's dying down. Energy's going to a close. Oh, Clyde. He's being so cute. Free! Yes, free. We're free. But I hope you guys have an amazing night, an amazing weekend. I feel like I gotta really ground now. I suddenly I feel, I don't know, I think I'm in for an interesting night. But tomorrow I'm gonna try to get to the weekly for my patrons who are watching, and of course it will post Monday to YouTube. I love you, Rhoda, and it's good to see you again. It's good to see you too. I was gonna say it's been a very long time. It's been a very long time. But I hope you guys have an amazing night. Excuse me. Excuse me. As I'm trying to finish the channeling and all this extra energy comes out. And I love you. And I'll see you guys later. Take care. Oh, and thank you for everybody who sent the super chats, by the way. Super sweet, super sweet of you guys. But yeah, I'm gonna hop off. Take care, guys.